Welcome to another Assessment Academy training video. In this video, I will be talking about direct and indirect assessments and providing examples and uses for both. Direct measures of assessment require students to demonstrate what they have learned or demonstrate progression to a level of proficiency determined by the faculty. Almost all courses require students to take locally developed or commercially available tests and/or final exams. Both are direct assessments. Student writing, capstone projects, hypothetical situations, and internship supervisor assessments are also examples of direct assessments. All are briefly described in the next couple of slides. Locally developed tests and exams are purposed to assess the extent students have acquired knowledge, the content of the course. Tests and exams can also ascertain how well students can apply that knowledge. Likewise, some commercially available tests directly measure students' achievement. Examples include the Collegiate Learning Assessment, CLA, Measures of Academic Progress, MAP, Educational Testing Services, ETS, subject matter tests, the Graduate Record Examination, GRE, the College Board, and the Area Concentration Achievement Test, ACAT. Pass rates on certification or licensure exams, to be able to practice certain professions, are a good source of assessment and indicator of student proficiencies. Examples of tests for certifications are the Praxis, administered by the Educational Testing Service, ETS, for K-12 teacher certification and CPA examinations, graded by the American Institute of Certified Public Accountants, AICPA. Evaluation of student writing is an excellent source for determining writing ability, but can also be used for determining students' mastery of content. Types of student writing assignments include essays, minute papers, research papers, and journal writing. Essays are typically multi-page, 500 to 1500 word writing assignments meant for students to comment on a particular topic, begin or continue the formation of research or scholarly inquiries, or reflection on content that was introduced in class or as a result of another assignment. Essay writing is a good source of student writing skills. As such, students must demonstrate organization of content, control of language, originality, and also comprehension of the content. Rubrics provided beforehand, used for assessment of the essay, will help students understand the expectations of the assignment. Rubrics also facilitate scoring consistency across evaluators. Research papers are assignments that are typically longer than essays. Research papers give students the opportunity to showcase his or her ability to not only organize, analyze, synthesize, and/or evaluate information, but to also articulate and describe the pursuit of his or her research or scholarly endeavors. Not all student writing has to be lengthy to be evaluated and to provide useful feedback. Minute papers are brief writing assignments completed in a short amount of time, usually during class. Students are prompted on what to write or asked to respond to a question. This in-class writing exercise can provide an assessment of organization, originality, control of language, and comprehension of content. Journals are done-at-home assignments that are an excellent source of reflection, originality, comprehension of materials, and writing skills. Direct assessment are epitomized by student projects such as those required by most capstone courses. In most instances, students demonstrate by the completion of a capstone project the culmination of knowledge learned during the college career. Hypothetical simulations, although limited to the classroom or other artificially generated settings, attempt to replicate real-life situations using scenarios relevant to the class content and discussions. Not only can these simulations require students to demonstrate their understanding of content and the application of that knowledge, but can be used to assess problem-solving, critical thinking, and teamwork skills observed during the simulation. A simulated marketing meeting based on a case study is one example. Students are asked to deal with the situations or respond to issues that arise in that meeting. Supervisors provide invaluable feedback to students during their internships, especially if those internships closely align with the student's major and hone skills needed to be successful in that professional setting. Indirect assessment are reported perceptions and reflections about learning. Indirect assessments can be related to learning, but do not require the demonstration or observation of learning. That being said, indirect assessments can be valuable sources for information of student learning when no other method is available or feasible. Also, indirect measures of assessment can greatly enhance the information gleaned from a direct assessment, clarify or further explain what was observed, and help to formulate inferences and recommendations. Surveys are often administered to graduates to ask the extent of their learning and its usefulness of this learning with respect to the postgraduate pursuits. Students too are asked to identify the extent of their learning, but typically either for an assignment or learning from a course in its entirety. The most common format for this type of assessment is the online or paper questionnaire. Interviews, typically conducted one-on-one with students, are easy to develop but are time-consuming to implement. Frequently used to supplement information from a questionnaire, interviews can provide richer feedback than questionnaires. Structured interviews are administered to all participants using the same set of questions or prompts in a sequence which is also invariable. National surveys, such as the National Survey of Student Engagement, NSSE, or the Know-Levitt Student Satisfaction Inventory, NLSSI, are two types of commercially available surveys that are deployed at Siena College. The NSSE ascertains the extent students are engaging in desirable academic behaviors. The NLSSI gauges student satisfaction with those experiences. If you have any questions about these direct and indirect assessments, you can contact Institutional Effectiveness. Contact information will be displayed at the end of this presentation. Thank you for listening to the Assessment Academy training video. Additional assessment resources are listed at www.siena.edu/pages/6979.asp. Middle States also has several documents about assessment on their website. Also recommended is the book Assessment Essentials, written by Catherine Palomba and Trudy Bonta, published by Josie Bass. This and other Assessment Academy presentations can be viewed on www.siena.edu/pages/7880.asp. Thank you for watching our Assessment Academy training video. If you have any questions or need additional help, you can contact me, Ryan Rose, at my email. Thank you for watching.